Please welcome to the stage Director Park and the star of No Other Choice, Lee Byung-hun.
예, 50주년을 맞은 토론토 영화제에서 영화를 상영하게 되어서 정말 너무 기쁩니다.
I'm so happy to present this film on the 50th anniversary of the Toronto International Film Festival.
토론토에서 이 영화를 상영하는 건 저한테 정말 의미가 깊은데요.
It's very meaningful to be presenting this film in Toronto today.
캐나다 사람, 토론토 사람인 돈 맥켈러, 가장 지적이고 비범한 작가인 돈 맥켈러와 함께 쓴 각본이죠.
Because this is a film that I've worked with one of the greatest writers in Canada, Don McKellar.
그리고 이 토론토와 그 인근 지역에서 촬영을 할 계획이었어요. 애초에는 영어 영화였기 때문에. 그래서 로케이션 스카우팅을 다 이 동네에서 마치기까지 했습니다.
And I've actually been planning to shoot this movie in English, and we were actually planning to shoot it in this city. So I've been staying here and location scouting here, and we completed all of that process back then.
그러나 이제 여러 가지 문제 때문에 한국 영화로 만들 수밖에 없게 됐는데.
But it didn't work out, so it ended up becoming a Korean film.
그렇게 된 게 정말 잘 된 일인 이유가 그렇게 함으로써 바로 이 뛰어난 이병헌과 일할 수 있게 되었기 때문이죠.
But I think it was a happy ending in the end because that gave me the opportunity to work with such a magnificent actor such as Lee Byung-hun.
Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here again. We are so excited to show this movie tonight. I hope you feel many layers of emotions through this movie. Have fun. Thank you.
Please welcome back to the stage Director Park Chan-wook and Lee Byung-hun. Director Park, last night at the TIFF Tribute Awards, when Lee Byung-hun was receiving his award, he said that you had mentioned this project to him almost 15 years ago. What made you want to tell this story, and why did it take so long to make this film?
예, 이 얘기를 원작 소설 The X라는 것을 읽었던 것은 사실 20년도 더 전 일이었습니다.
The original novel that this movie is based off of, The Axe, I actually first read it more than 20 years ago.
읽자마자 영화를 만들고 싶었고요.
And as soon as I read it, I knew that I wanted to adapt it into a movie.
제가 이걸 만들고 싶었던 이유는 글쎄 뭐 여러 가지가 있겠지만 이 원작 소설에 담긴 비극성이 일단 끌렸는데 소설보다 더 좀 웃기게 만들 수도 있겠다는 생각이 들었어요. 그래서 그런 원래 갖고 있던 비극성에 내가 유머를 더 할 수 있다면 굉장히 재밌는 얘기가 되겠다는 그런 예감이 들었습니다.
And the reason for that, well, there are many reasons, but my first reason is that when I first read the original novel, I found the tragedy of it very interesting. But I immediately knew that I had the potential to make it funnier than the novel. I wanted to try adding comedy to the tragedy in the story, and doing so would make a very fun story.
그래서 그때부터 이제 그 꿈을 갖고 키워 왔는데 그 중에 이제 병원을 만났을 때 뭘 준비하느냐라고 묻길래 그런 얘기를 이런 얘기를 준비하고 있다라고 말해줬죠.
And I've been growing the dream to do that since then. And when I met Byung-hun, we were talking about what we were going to be doing next, and I mentioned the story to him.
그렇지만 당신은 미국을 배경으로 한 영어 영화로 준비하고 있었기 때문에 병원에게는 너는 그 역할은 꿈도 꾸지 마. 넌 백인도 아니고 너무 어려라고 말했죠.
But originally it was supposed to be set in the US, so I told Byung-hun, don't even dream about taking this character. This is not for you. It's not going to happen.
Yes. For Byung-hun, in 2000, Joint Security Area was the film that you made with director Park. It was a critical and box office success for both of you, and really, I think, launched both your careers in a significant way. What was it like to collaborate with him once again?
25년 전에 처음 함께 작업을 해봤지만 사실 저희는 25년 동안 뭐 굉장히 교류가 깊었고 서로 연락하고 밥도 먹고 또 저희 집에도 놀러 오셔서 술도 한 잔 기울이시고 뭐 그런 관계였기 때문에 낯설지가 않았어요. 촬영장에서도. 그리고 다만 이번에 이제 작업을 하면서 새삼 더 느꼈던 건 정말 이전보다 더 집요하고 더 디테일해지고 더 한 장면 한 장면에 엄청난 정성을 기울이시는구나라는 그런 생각을 하면서 새삼 정말 많은 사람들이 거장이라고 이야기하는 이유를 새삼 더 한번 느꼈던 시간이었던 것 같아요.
Yes, we started working together 25 years ago, but during that time, we kept in touch quite a bit. We socialized, we ate together. He would even come over and we would share a drink. So it wasn't odd to meet again, even on set. And what I felt once again this time is that he's ever more detailed this time around. Every scene, he was very careful about it, and once again, this really reminded me how great of a director he is, a maestro.
Yes. Well, I think we're all very, very fortunate that you have decided to collaborate again, because it's such a wonderful film, and we've had the privilege of showing it to the North American audience, and director and Lee Byung-hun have agreed to take questions. So if you raise your hand, we can take a few questions. Okay, that went up right there, yes. Yes?
What inspired adding that comedic twist to the story? Because obviously it was really fun to see everyone laugh and use this in something that's so dark and twisted. So what inspired including that element?
What inspired to add the comedic twist?
예, 이런 슬픈 이야기를 슬프기만 한 게 아니라 사실 만수의 행동은 굉장히 어리석기도 하죠. 근데 제가 이게 이제 한꺼번에 오는 건데 그렇게 코미디 분위기로 몰고 가려는 것과 또 하나 원작에 추가하고 싶었던 것은 만수가 하는 행동을 가족이 결국은 알게 된다는 것입니다.
For such a sad story as such, well, I guess Mansu's action isn't just sad, but also foolish. What I added in addition to the original novel is that I wanted to drive it towards a comedic tone, but I also wanted to add the detail that the family finds out about what he's done.
가족을 지키기 위해서 하는 행동이다. 아주 나쁜 일이지만 가족을 지키기 위해서다라고 정당화하는데 결국 그 가족은 바로 이 행동 때문에 붕괴되는 것이죠.
He tries to justify his bad actions by saying he's doing it to protect his family, but it is these very actions that makes the family fall apart.
그렇다면 이 행동은 무엇을 위한 것인가? 라는 생각에 도달하게 되고 굉장히 어리석은 일이었다는 것을 알게 됩니다. 그 어리석음을 강조하기 위해 저는 코미디가 필요하다고 봤습니다.
And so you reach the conclusion, what was all those actions for? And you realize how foolish all of that effort was. So I realized that I needed the comedy to emphasize the foolishness of his actions.
It was a 1997 American novel, but it's incredible how it feels like such a sharp reflection of Korean society today.
예, 근데 제가 이 이야기를 하려고 마음 먹고 나서 정말 긴 세월이 흘렀는데 포기하지 않았던 데는 어떤 이유가 있었습니다.
So it's been a long time since I decided to adapt this film, but there's a reason why I never gave up on adapting it.
이 사람들이 저에게 뭐 어떤 영화를 준비하십니까라고 물으면 제가 이 이야기를 짧게 들려줍니다.
And when people asked me what I was preparing to do next, I would tell this short story.
그러면 세계 어느 나라 사람이든 25년 세월 동안 다 와 이건 정말 지금 필요한 얘기네요라고 반응을 하곤 했죠.
And wherever they were from, over those 25 years, whenever I told the story, they would respond with, "Wow, this is such a 15 years, sorry." They would respond with, "Oh, that's such a timely story."
그렇기 때문에 미국의 많은 스튜디오들이 이 작품을 거절했어도 저는 이것은 언젠가는 만들어질 수 있는 이야기겠구나 하고 생각할 수 있었습니다.
And that's why I was certain that even though the American studios turned it down, I was certain that I would be able to make this story one day.
그래서 제 대답은 현대 한국에서의 적당한 이야기일 뿐만 아니라 사실 현대 자본주의 사회 어느 체제 안에서도 어느 나라에서도 최근 몇십 년 동안 그리고 앞으로도 몇십 년 동안 이것은 필요한 이야기라고 믿습니다.
So I don't believe this is just a portrayal of modern Korean society. I believe this is a portrayal of capital society all around the world, of today, of the past, and for many, many years to come.
Yes, I'll take another question in the back there. Yes.
I have the pleasure of asking you a question 2 years ago when you were here for the In Conversation with as well. But for this film, there was a lot of referencing between paper, plants, and nature. What I want to know is, in the beginning, when the character was tying the branch of a plant inside the greenhouse, the branch snapped, but it seems like he really likes to do planting and everything. So I would say that he's probably an expert. And then also you could see the leaves are getting eaten by the ladybugs. And then also at the very end, all of the trees and plants were wilted. There was no leaves. And also, I would say the mood obviously is quite different from the beginning. How did that play into the character development and story progression?
So this was a question for Lee Byung-hyun. Okay, I think maybe Lee Byung-hyun was who you were referring to in conversation with? Yes? Okay. That was a very long question. I felt like there was definitely plants, paper,
And nature.
and nature. some branch breaking. Perhaps the interpreter picked it up, but I think it's really speaking to that symbolism and how his character responded to it.
Oh, the question.
I'm going to see if the interpreter does better than.
벌레가 붙고 마지막 끝장면에는 나무에 잎이 하나도 없잖아요. 그런 것들을 다 뒤추어봤을 때 캐릭터와 어떻게 관련이 있고 이렇게 생각하셨는지.
이런 걸로 박수까지 받을 줄 몰랐습니다.
I didn't know I was going to be clapped for this.
감독님하고 이제 그 분재를 설정한 이유나 뭐 이런 여러 가지 것들에 대해서도 사실은 이야기를 많이 했어요. 근데 분재가 이 영화에서 이제 또 소재로 쓰이는 이유 중에 하나는 물론 이제 그 시조를 죽일 때 결국 그 분재처럼 결국 그 시체를 처리하는 그 과정도 연관이 되지만 이 분재라는 것이 자연스럽게 가지가 뻗어나가는 것을 강제로 인위적으로 방향을 바꾸기도 하고 그 모양을 인위적으로 바꾸는 이런 여러 가지 것들이 사실은 아름다움을 위한 것이기도 하지만 또 어떤 면에서는 좀 되게 잔인한 그런 어떤 인간의 행동으로도 또 그 어떤 그런 느낌으로도 받아들여지거든요. 그런 여러 가지 것들에 대한 의미가 있었던 거고 그 장면에 분재를 하다가 부러지고 하는 장면은 만수의 현재 상태의 심리를 표현하는 그런 또 부분이었고 나중에 잎이 다 떨어지고 하는 그런 부분은 감독님이 대답해 주실 수 있을 것 같습니다.
Yes, we talked a lot about planting in this film with the director, and one of the reasons why we discussed this topic and showed so much of it in the film, this is one of the reasons. Remember how my character would dispose of the dead bodies and such? Well, in planting, sometimes you purposely perhaps break a branch or lead a branch to grow in a different way for beauty, but also that's quite 잔인. Aggressive. It's not nice. So it gives it. There are a lot of meanings to what my character did. Branches being breaking, broken, and you saw. And my character Mansu, that also was a reflection of how Mansu was feeling at the time. And for the wilting leaf part, I'm gonna leave it to the director.
예, 뭐 그냥 쉽게 파악하실 수 있는 대로 이 영화는 여름의 절정에서 시작을 해서 겨울이 이제 다가오는 이제 이 비가 그치면 이제 진짜 겨울이 시작된다라는 그 일기예보를 들으면서 끝나게 되죠. 그래서 이 식물을 사랑하는 만수의 여정을 따라갈 때 그렇게 여름의 절정에서 겨울의 길목에 들어서는 데서 끝난다 그런 설정을 하고 싶었어요. 그리고 회사 이름도 만수가 다니는 회사는 솔라라는 회사였고 마지막에 들어가는 회사는 문 페이퍼죠. 그렇게 그런 순환을 보여주고 싶었습니다.
Yeah, so in simple terms, as you guys might have all already understood, the movie starts at the peak of summer, and then we end the movie with the weather report saying that when the rain stops, winter will begin. So we follow Mansu's love for plants, and we enter summer and we end on winter. And similarly, the company name, the company he used to work at was Solar, and he ends up at a company called The Moon as well.
I can take one last question. I'll take that one in the back there.
I'm assuming the original source material doesn't involve AI, since it's from 20 years ago. Does the original source material deal with the topic of automation in factories and
So the question is, assuming when the novel was written, it wasn't specific AI in the story, but is automation as it's represented in the film right now a theme that the director was working with?
예, 물론 원작에 그런 내용은 없었죠. 근데 이제 긴 세월 각본을 고쳐오는 동안 세상의 변화를 이제 받아들이면서 이 각본도 조금씩 바뀌게 되었습니다. 그래서 마지막에는 이제 이런 AI가 등장하게 되는데 그 안타까운 그 행동을 우리가 볼 수 있죠. 만수는 그 스틱으로 좀 그 롤 두드려 보는 행동은 불필요한 시대가 됐다라는 그 말을 듣고도 이 버릇을 어쩔 수 없고, 그리고 버릇이 아니라 진짜 그렇게 생각을 했을 수도 있을 것 같아요. 아무리 기계가 잘 똑똑해도 이건 사람의 그 감각으로 해야지 그게 맞지 하고 고집스럽게 생각하는 구식의 인간일 수도 있겠죠. 그 모습이 안타깝게 느껴지길 바랬습니다.
Yes, so in the original novel, as you might have guessed, there is no discussion of AI or automation. But over the years of working on the script and revising it, the script has also changed with the times. So in the end of the movie, we are introduced to the idea of AI. And I wanted to show that tragic action of how he pats on that roll with his stick, even though the company has told him that that's not necessary anymore. So he can't let go of that habit. But perhaps more than habit, in his mind, he thinks that even though machines are very smart, he's this old-fashioned man who believes that a man's action or his taste is more important than a machine's automation. So I wanted to show that tragic image.
관객은 이렇게 생각할 수도 있을 거예요. 지금 이렇게 차용이 됐지만 결국 얼마나 갈 것인가. 만수는 이 소등 시스템이라고 하는 자동화 시스템 시험 가동을 지금 감독하고 있는데 그것이 되자마자 잘릴 수도 있지 않을까, 그런 불안한 미래에 대해서 상상하기를 바랐습니다.
And I wanted the audience to consider this. So he did end up getting hired, but how long will he be hired for? He has been hired to monitor this trial utilization of AI, but once AI has stabilized, would he be able to keep that job? I wanted the audience to consider this question.
그래서 만수의 퇴장한 마지막 샷을 보셔서 아시겠지만 저 멀리 뒤에서부터 불이 텅텅 하고 꺼지죠. 만수를 따라오듯이. 그것은 소등 시스템, AI는 불이 불필요하니까 AI가 스스로 생각해서 이제 당신은 이 공장 안에 더 이상 필요 없다, 나가라. 마치 그 어둠으로 만수의 등을 떠미는 듯이 하는 AI의 결정, 판단이라고 저는 생각하면서 만들었습니다.
And if you remember the last shot, as Mansu exits, lights go off one by one behind him as if it's chasing him, because the AI doesn't need lights. So it thought on its own and it's turning off the lights. And basically it's representing how this man is no longer needed in the factory. He needs to go out of the factory. So it's almost as if the AI is pushing Mansu into darkness. So I wanted to show the AI's decision in this matter.
I know you all seem to have very detailed questions for Director Park, so I'm going to let you know he's doing an In Conversation With, where you're going to learn a lot more about his creative process, his art as a director, and have an opportunity to ask him more questions for tonight. Thank you very much, Director Park. Lee Byung-hyun, no other choice. Thank you, everybody.